Perhaps one of the most common questions I get is, Tim, I have been working on YouTube for like a year, 2 years, and my views are just kind of flat. I'm not really building, my subscribership isn't going anywhere, and I'm just kind of feeling frustrated. I'm gonna give you guys a couple different strategies that you need to implement to really get you past that hump and on to growth. That's coming up. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer, and it's Thursday, which means it's time for some YouTube Q&A. Here is an email I got, and it's a very common question that I received. Hi Tim, my YouTube audience hasn't been doing so well. I'm feeling a little frustrated and I'm about to give up. What might I be missing on my channel? We've all felt that frustration before. I certainly have, so you are not alone, but I have figured out a couple things that have actually worked really well for me and a lot of the clients that I work with, and I've spelled it all out in a step-by-step process here in this ebook called 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. And in it, I talk about 3 different strategies that you need to have, and I want to tell you what those are because I think maybe that this can help you. And then there's actually a 4th strategy, but I'll get to that at the end. But the 3 strategies you need to have is you need to have a channel strategy, a search and discovery strategy, an audience development strategy, and then all of that kind of gets wrapped up into like a video strategy. Let's start with the channel strategy first. This is basically where you are looking at your channel and you're looking at how it's designed, how it's laid out, and you're saying, what does this channel need to do in order to really communicate well with people who I am, what I'm all about, what value they can expect here from my videos, why should they care about this, why should they subscribe? And just by the way you're presenting your channel, you're answering a lot of those subconscious questions that people are wondering when they come to your content. And so in my ebook, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel, I break the channel strategy down to 2 sections. One is channel branding, and that is, how are you presenting yourself? So that has everything to do from like your channel trailer, to your channel icon, to your header image, to the sections that you're displaying and the playlist that you're displaying, and why are each of those being displayed strategically with strategic content in them. And all that really revolves around who are you targeting and what value are you proposing to them, and lots of things. So there's the branding aspect of your channel first. And then the second part of the channel strategy is the channel experience. Like, what are people experiencing when they come to your channel? And that has to do with things like how consistently are you publishing content, and is the experience from one video to the next video pretty similar, or is there a lot of discrepancy? Like, or people feel like they're playing Russian roulette with your videos when they go from one to the next. It also has to do with how are you hooking the viewer to actually feel enticed to want to watch your videos, and many other things. So I know we talk a lot about different tips, but the ebook kind of takes you step by step, holds your hand through like, first do this, then do that, think about this, answer these questions, now implement that into your channel. Like each day I give you a teaching, I give you a task that you do based on the teaching that outlines the how and the why behind it, and then I say here's what you're going to do. And then third, it gives you additional resources that you can dig into if you want to kind of take that teaching to the next level and kind of dig into it a little bit more. And so I do that all throughout the channel strategy section, and then also heading into the second section of the 30 days, which is your search and discovery strategy. Now, optimizing your channel and getting it all tip-top shape so it's really stickable and highly subscribable actually doesn't help you at all if no one's even finding your content in the first place. So first section is like, let's move in. Let's get this thing all ready to present to the public. And then after like your house is in order, now let's invite the guests over. And that's what the search and discovery is partly about. Now, we talk a lot about the optimization for search, and we talk about different things like titles and metadata and tags and descriptions and caption files and all that kind of stuff that I know a lot of you guys are familiar with, but I don't think a lot of us are thinking about how do we use these things strategically together. I think we're just thinking about them all as like these individual like little things like I've got to do. But having a strategy means that you're taking all these little individual things and you're actually putting them all together to work cohesively together as a unit with each other. So that's the search part. And then the discovery part is how are you reaching out? How are you getting your name out there? I know a lot of us could, again, rattle off some things, like collaborations or seeding your content to other, platforms and blogs and websites, all of which we've also talked about here in many other videos in the past. But again, like you need to actually put these things all together and have like a cohesive overall strategy for this, not just do like this thing randomly and that thing randomly. Oh yeah, I got to do this. Like that doesn't work as well. And then the third strategy you really need to think through is your audience development strategy. So you've optimized everything, your house is ready, and then 2, you put yourself out there, you have a strategy for inviting people in, and then third is like once they're there at your house and they've actually found you, how do you keep them there? How do you get them to have like a good time? And that's what the audience development strategy is all about. It's about cultivating that community, fostering the relationships with the people who are viewing your content, and how do you keep engaging with them so that they keep coming back for more and turn from just being like a passive viewer who just found you one day way to actually being a highly engaged, raving fan who loves your stuff and is a value asset to the community around your channel. And then the fourth strategy, which I mentioned, is a video content strategy. And a lot of you guys, fortunately, are probably already more familiar with that than you think. I mean, just the fact that you are uploading a video to your channel indicates that you have some sort of idea of strategy. It might not be a good one, might not be an effective one, but you are at least thinking about video strategy. So as you work on those first three strategies, the video strategy is the thing that encompasses all three of those and makes it all work together as one seamless channel that is highly valuable, very subscribable, very sticky to people, and kind of is really positioned to design to take those passive viewers and turn them into a fan base that loves your stuff and is really accepting the message that you have to share with them. So maybe this all sounded like it was one big commercial for the ebook, but I really do believe that this thing, guys, I wrote it, so yeah, I'm biased, but I really think is really super valuable for you guys. For those who are on the email list, because if you were on there, then you also read this ebook, my free one, The Secret to Building Your YouTube Audience, and that is kind of like a prerequisite. I think like you got to read that one first. It's free, so you can click there, the link below to go get it, and then that kind of really sets up this ebook, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. So I would love to hear from you. What strategies do you think are important, and how do you implement them on your content and on your channel to kind of make this a one cohesive experience rather than lots of little things that we do in a checklist that might be independent from each other? I'd love to hear what advice you guys have. And the rest of you guys, make sure you go down there and check out the advice that other people are leaving. It's always really good. And if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every Thursday we do questions just like this for you guys. And then on Tuesdays, I do some, we look at online video news and talk about the implications that it has for us as creators, as YouTube is constantly updating and changing, and Google's doing stuff like all the time. So we need to keep up with that. And then also on Wednesdays, I do some YouTube tips and advice. I do all those because I really believe a lot of you guys have messages that can really change people's lives. And I want to do everything that I can to help you guys get your message out there so that the people who need to hear what you have to say can find you and connect with you and want to subscribe to your channel so they get the value that you are trying to give to them. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. Subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.